When many of us were born, the world said there were only two genders, male and female. But that wasn't because human experience was simple, it was because society treated gender and biological sex as the same thing.
Spoiler, they're not the same. Also, spoiler, humans have always been more interesting than two boxes.
Let's start with the basics. Biological sex refers to physical traits, chromosomes, hormones, anatomy. Even that isn't strictly binary because intersex variations occur naturally.
Nature loves variety. Humans love categories. Sometimes those two things argue.
Gender, on the other hand, is your internal sense of self, who you know you are, and gender expression is how you present that identity to the world.
Like me choosing mysterious woodland scholar as my aesthetic.
So, how many genders exist? There's no universal number. Different cultures, communities, and academic fields recognize different identities. Instead of a fixed list, gender is best understood as a spectrum.
Think of it like colors. We didn't invent new ones. We just learned to name the ones that were always there.
In modern Western contexts, people often talk about binary genders and non binary and gender expansive identities.
Translation: humans are complex, and language is finally catching up.
One of the biggest myths is that gender diversity is new, but many cultures recognize more than two genders long before modern terminology existed. In South Asia, Hijra communities have existed for centuries. In Samoa, Fa'afafine and Fa'atama are long recognized identities. In Hawaii and Tahiti, Mahu people traditionally served as teachers and healers. In Thailand, Kathoi have been part of society for generations. In Indonesia, warrior communities hold cultural significance. And across indigenous North America, many nations recognized multiple genders long before colonization, today honored under the umbrella term Two-Spirit.
Humans have always known themselves. Sometimes society just forgets to listen.
As people share their experiences, new terms emerge, not to complicate things, but to give people the vocabulary to describe themselves with clarity and dignity.
Imagine trying to explain purple when your language only has red and blue. You'd invent new words too.
You may have grown up in a world that said two. Today's world says human experience is more varied than that. Gender isn't a rigid checklist, it's a reflection of how people understand themselves.
And everyone deserves the words that help them feel seen.
So the real question isn't how many genders are there, it's how can we make space for people to describe who they are?
And maybe learn a little along the way.